How's it going? Today is 1st of December, Sunday, and we're gonna be taking a look at the market, everything what's happening. We will try to focus on finance, something that we would have in mind and taking a look at information that we will find today. We're gonna be taking a look at three different press releases, something that was published today, and perhaps some of those articles been published some time ago, but. Anyway, the first one, that the next phase of a mission-led government will put working people priorities first, with Prime Minister set to unveil plan for changes. So perhaps plans have been put in motion, but not necessarily as of now. Anyway, Prime Minister will set out ambitious milestones for change that will deliver real, tangible improvement for lives of working people across the country in this parliament later this year. And this article is published 1 day ago, right? Let's read it. Let's try to understand it, right? And we're gonna be taking a look at three different points after the Prime Minister to galvanize actions across government and beyond with radical next phase of mission delivery. Next point, after the measurable milestones will be set out in the new plan for change that will put working people's priorities first. Okay. And the next point, after the relentless priorities will ensure that the government delivers for working people. This parliament, I don't know. Can we reduce parliament by at least half? So if we reduce parliament by half and we have instant system where we can all people would be able to vote, then we could expand on this. Giving more control back to the people instead of having large government, right? So that's a key takeaways. But with that in mind, let's take we can reduce straight away so much unnecessary burden of having a large government. And you have, if I don't know if people have tried to reach out to government, there would be no response. But perhaps others have different experiences, right? To the most part, there would be no response, right? And when you would ask something from government, there would be no response, right? So that's so why they need such a big government up there, right? The prime minister will set out ambitious milestones to change that will deliver real, tangible improvements to the lives of working people across the country and parliament later this year. Since we take a look at parliament, right? So perhaps smaller parliament and different voting systems, so people might be able to vote somehow, right? The plan for change will mark the next phase of mission-led government as the Prime Minister continues to take on the relenting approach to deliver on the priorities of working people. The mission growing the economy and NHS fit for the future. I don't know this part since there was so many different press releases when it comes to NHS. As I mentioned previously, I had tried myself and perhaps others have tried engaging with NHS. There's nothing. They do not respond. They're doing nothing. So that's a fit for the future, at least. And then it comes to men's health strategy. At least we'll have this kind of strategy in place. So that's at least something, right? So since that would be critical, I would say, and for the first time, there is a strategy to look after men, which is something worth recognizing, right? We were saying that NHS do not do nothing. Perhaps for the first time we had recognized this kind of issue, right? See, which is great. I can't wait to engage with NHS more often, right? Safer streets, secure powers throughout the clean energy and opportunity for all, part of decades of national renewal, build on foundations of stable economy, national security, and secure borders. The government has already made significant progress on its mission since July, fixing the foundations of the country and are kicking off the first steps to deliver real change. This has included stabilizing in the economy, establishing a new border security commission that will smash gangs and okay. Invest an extra 22 billion Like we're gonna take more money. That's what they're really saying. We're gonna take 22 billion, build an NHS bed. Okay, so this is how much money we're gonna burn potentially. So this is what we are taking a look at. Future including the extra 40,000 appointments. We're gonna burn 22 billion. This action has all taken place with inherent unprecedented. Okay, okay. So there's I don't know. I don't want to butcher the entire article, but perhaps we can close at this point. I think everything, to the most part, was mentioned. So I'll skip some information just because of the time. I do understand these parts would be important, but we don't have enough time to cover everything, right? The milestone will be underpinned by ambitious program of public sector reforms, building on the reform work already started on planning. Great. There is a lot of processes of where people can engage with the government when it comes to planning, right? Let's recognize this part. In national infrastructure, we're gonna take a look at perhaps some developments there in just a second, as well as pensions. So that will be investment, industrial strategy, something that we were taking a look at just moments ago. And perhaps we can briefly invest 2035 in UK's economy. So we're gonna expand on this plan potentially, and we will try to break it down as much detail as possibly can. But we not necessarily would be able to fit all information, right? There would be some information that will be published today. That would be who is there's a name and why she's resigning as UK's transport minister. So that would be critical transport. There was so many emails send it and there was no response. So that's a quick summary of the experiences, right? But anyway, so potentially there might be reshuffle, so new people might come in, right? So hopefully there might be some changes. But anyway, I'll skip some information. There might be all kind of things, but guess that would be new person coming in, right? Let's keep name resignation as UK Transport Secretary has brought new scrutiny to okay, so the Prime Minister's government making a first cabinet departure since Labour victory in July 24. So potentially a person is leaving, right? I don't know all these details, so perhaps if there's things ongoing, investigations, all those kind of things, but perhaps new person will step in. Hopefully, just action. So I'll perhaps other people interested in other things, but there is no action. It is very hard to move, and perhaps the entire system is very complex to move just a little bit. It can cost a lot of money, right? So entire system, just try to imagine how many moving pieces are, and if you like to move just one piece, it can cost so much money. With that in mind, when sending a note, trying to communicate, it's very hard. Okay, let's take a look at something that would be published. Oh, I think it was last Sunday, 24th. That would be Invest 2035. UK's modern industrial strategy. We can take a look at it, and that will be very important. Where opportunity is going to be, if not right now, in the future. Depending on how much time we have, since there would be important, quote unquote. But I guess when it comes to investment, there might be some risk associated with any investment opportunities. So that would be overall strategy, but so many things might move, as well as there would be a lot of risk associated with any investment. So you do that. I'm not a legal advisor. I don't know your personal circumstances. I'm not your professional legal advisor. When it comes to making decisions with your money, have that in mind, right? We can take a look at the strategy, and we can try to understand the trend growth in the numbers of one mission of the government or our new industrial strategy is central for the growth mission. The green paper set out vision for modern industrial strategy. Credible, okay, sure. 10-year plan to deliver a certainty. I don't know, I believe things are way too uncertain, but anyway. This is what it says. I'm just reading it, right? So don't blame me for anything. Well, I'm saying I'm just reading this information. Don't blame me for certainty, since I don't think it's certain for anything is certain in life. Perhaps two things, right? Instability. Okay, business need to invest in high growth sectors that will drive our growth mission. That's important. There's a rapid change in the global economy, and the case for government to roll up their sleeves. The government do not produce anything. Government? Government takes some money and government do not produce anything, so I don't know what they mean by rolling up the sleeves. And shape market rather than step back in the face of the challenge is stronger than ever. To capture growth, the UK to desperately need we need a modern industrial strategy to share in the next decade growth opportunities. Okay, okay. So the entire sector is very complex, right? As well as UK should consider positioning themselves a little bit better compared to where things are right now. And perhaps there would be more opportunities to engage with necessary people, but those people seems to be reshuffled all the time, right? Anyway, this industrial strategy will provide launchpad for businesses. It provides a firm foundation for investment that business have told us they need. I don't know. I don't know. Again, when it comes to you making decisions with your money, and I don't know with stability. This stability would be very important. I don't know where to look for this kind of stability, right? This government believes it is our role to provide the certainty that inspires confidence, allowing business to plan not for the next year, but for next 10 years and beyond. So potentially, basically what government is acknowledging, this is what they should strive for, but things are changing and moving way too fast for stability, right? Okay, we will not repeat mistakes in the past that was potentially made, or any mistakes that was made in the past, which with policy changes and fast decision makers. Again, that would potentially can cost a lot of money, right, for business who are interested in investing, right? To put an end of policy merry-go-round, we are going to establish a statutory industrial strategy council, hard working stability and a long terming into our plan for the. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I should continue reading it. Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, let's get some information. We can take a look at what the government's priorities might be. Strategy is unreservedly pro-business, engaging on complex issues that are barriers to invest, like skills, recruitment of international talent. UK do not have trade agreements, right, with Europe. They do not have trade agreements with United States. And engaging with this department, that's the department who we had submitted so much feedback. They are themselves saying that they cannot help with the recruitment. He's saying you need to contact other department. So there is a lot to unpack, right? So they potentially, when you're asking as a business, when you're asking for assistance or support, they are refusing to help, and this is what they're laying down as their priorities, right? From there, we're progressing to data. It's very good that they recognize data. There was a number of emails sent to a government, and there's a lot of concerns were raised when it comes to data, and in particular data sharing. And these concerns were raised many times, a long time ago, years and years and years. Perhaps to keep all the data in the United Kingdom instead of sharing overseas. So it's good that it's been recognized as well. Next point, research and development. Contracts can be terrible. Before entering any of those contracts, when it comes to research and development, it's been recognized by a number of committees, and these issues were raised as well. Let's progress to the next point, technology adoption. Okay, access to finance. Do not rush into borrowing money. Let's progress. Competition. Okay, sure. Let's progress. Regulation, sure. Let's keep this video is gonna be terrible, but anyway. Energy prices, one of the most highest in the world. Let's progress. Grid connections, okay, sure, infrastructure and planning. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there, but let's close this video. I don't know how I'm presenting this information in the best possible way. Let's progress. Thanks for watching. See you next one.